To get this video underway, I wanted to give two shoutouts. Firstly, over to Hockey News Hub on Twitter. They post a lot of news and notes about KHL prospects, and hey, they're kind of the reason I ended up finding out about this, so big shout out over to Hockey News Hub. And I'll also give a big shout out to the VHL and their YouTube channel. Because the VHL, which is the second-tier pro league in Russia, they live stream all of their games for free on YouTube. And the game that we care about, which literally broke a world record today, had just concluded about an hour ago. You can see it right here. It's a 6-hour live stream of one hockey game between SKA Neva St. Petersburg and AKM. Now, before we dive into the record, before we dive into what happened in this game, let's just go over the box score. Because this game, on the VHL website right here, was a 1-0 overtime victory for AKM. And the crazy part about it is, in the first period, you had 0 goals. In the second period, 0 goals. In the third period, 0 goals. In the first overtime, no goals. Second overtime, no goals. Third overtime, no goals. Fourth overtime, no goals. And the fifth overtime period, the 8th period of the game, we finally had a 1-0 score. AKM ends up taking this victory 1-0 in quintuple overtime. SKA Neva St. Petersburg with the loss here, and the one goal comes at the 158th minute mark, scored by Ilya Shipov, assisted by Sergei Teryayev and Maxim Rasekin. This was a crazy game. And look, the live stream on YouTube is 6 hours long for a reason. They had 5 overtimes to go out there and capture, all for a 1-0 game. But the record that we are talking about is a little bit further down if you read the goaltending summary. Because the winning goaltender for AKM, Denny Popov, ended up getting himself the win, 71 shots against, 71 saves, so he had a shutout on the night. 71 saves in a game, eh? In a quintuple overtime victory? That's pretty nuts. But if you go over to SKA Neva St. Petersburg's goaltender, Artemi Pleshkov, number 73, he had the loss, yes, but man, did this guy show up. Because SKA Neva St. Petersburg let up 125 shots against, and Pleshkov made 124 saves. His goals against average was .38, and his save percentage was 99.2. Let's do 124 divided by 125. That save percentage is one of the craziest things you will ever see. The closest you can get to 1 without actually getting to 1. It's like, get as close to the line as you can without tipping over the edge. That's what Artemi Pleshkov went out there and did. And if you go over to Hockey News Hub's Twitter, for those wondering, that is a world record for saves in a game. Pleshkov had 124 saves, and if you want to talk about the other records, I mean, it's all labeled out here in Hockey News Hub's Twitter feed. Take a look at this. Legendary. Ain't nobody going to be touching this record for a while. Here's how it stacks up against other leagues. Artemi Pleshkov set a world record for the number of saves in a game. For the first time in the history of hockey, a goaltender stopped 124 shots in a match. Here are the league records for most saves in a game. In the KHL, it's Kari Ramo, actually, so yeah, NHL fans, Calgary Flames fans, big reminder there that Kari Ramo exists. He had 83 saves in a game for Jokerit. In the MHL, Maxim Ershov had 82 saves. In the VHL, the former record was held by Nikita Bogdanov, who had 81 saves for SKA Neva St. Petersburg. In the NHL, Jonas Korpisalo in Columbus set the record for most saves in a game with 85. In the Belarusian Extraliga, Alexander Borodulia had himself 107 saves. So Artemi Pleshkov went out there with 124, shattering what we know to be as the record for most saves in a game in some sort of a professional capacity. I mean, I mean, even all the other numbers, it's roughly around in that 83 to 85 range mark. The Belarusian Extraliga had a 107 save game, but Artemi Pleshkov in the VHL ended up doing that. And this is also the second longest game in VHL history, 158 minutes and 11 seconds. Now we have ourselves the graphics, all the records being talked about here. Pleshkov's final stat line, 157-57, 124 saves, 992 save percentage, 0.38 goals against, and he had 2 penalty minutes too, so the goaltender ended up getting himself involved in the scrum there. I mean, what was the penalty that he ended up taking? Let's go out there and look. So, Pleshkov, he had a tripping penalty at the 114-minute mark. That is crazy. That is crazy. Okay, so 114 minutes. That would have been, before the end of the third overtime? He ended up getting a penalty and his team killed it off? Look at that, eh? Crazy game, too. Abuse of officials and unsportsmanlike conduct. Ilya Fedotov got a penalty for that, too. This seemed to have been a crazy game, and if you want to watch it, it's all on YouTube for free. 6 hours and 26 minutes of footage on the live stream here. There also are a few extra things that Hockey News Hub went out there and tweeted out. Artemi Pleshkov saves by period. He had 14 in the first, 15 in the second, 10 in the third, 11 in the fourth period, 17 in the fifth period, 19 in the sixth period, 18 in the seventh period, and then 20 out of 21 in the fifth period. Man, SKA Neva St. Petersburg. Look, I haven't watched the game. I unfortunately don't have 6 hours to spend on a Saturday morning when I have to be making YouTube videos, but SKA Neva St. Petersburg, y'all kind of hung your goalie out to dry. 39 shots against in the first 3 periods, and then in the next 3 periods, you had, 47 shots against? And then in the next period, 18. In the period after that, 21. Dude, SKA Neva St. Petersburg, y'all were throwing. You couldn't beat the goalie on the opposite side. He had 70 saves. Pleshkov had 124. This kid got stronger as the game went on. He gave his team every chance to win it, and he is undrafted. Now, I wanted to go out there and give a little bit of a scouting report here for Artemi Pleshkov, because we gotta give this guy his due. He just had 124 saves in a gosh darn game. I have a feeling that these numbers here, the last 5 games and the last 10 games, they're going to be pretty stacked by the time we return here. But Artemi Pleshkov in the SKA Neva St. Petersburg playoffs has a 947 save percentage and a 224 goals against average. He had a 943 save percentage in the regular VHL, and he played for SKA St. Petersburg in the KHL with a 926 save percentage and 10 games played. Those are some very good numbers, especially out of a guy who is an undrafted prospect. He's only 5'10", 161, so he's a short goaltender, but he's 21 years old. He's still free to go in the draft, and when it comes to a profile like this, sure, you don't like to talk about smaller goaltenders as being NHL projectable guys, but for Artemi Pleshkov, I mean, who's gone out there and had this record? Nobody's done this before. Now he's in the KHL, hopefully at least he'll be, and he'll be maybe carrying over his talents into the top league, because I'm pretty sure SKA Neva St. Petersburg got eliminated with this 1-0 game. At least that's what Hockey News Hub went out there and said. I mean, they had a tweet about it earlier. Take a look at this. After being eliminated from the VHL playoffs, SKA Neva goaltender Artemi Pleshkov, along with Penguins Kirill Tankov and Yotes Ilya Fedotov, will join SKA St. Petersburg in the KHL playoffs very shortly. So, yeah, this was the final game. SKA Neva St. Petersburg, I'm sorry, but it looks like you guys kind of threw. You had 8 periods to score 1 goal and keep your playoff hopes alive, but you couldn't do it. That's unfortunate, really, but for Artemi Pleshkov, I mean, he went out there and literally broke a hockey record, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Artemi Pleshkov getting 124 saves in a VHL game that just wrapped up an hour ago. If you ended up watching any part of this game, then let me know your thoughts as to how everything went. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.